Hello, welcome back. How's it going?
Welcome back.
I don't know how to continue.
Welcome back to the 34th Club.
Yeah.
Yay!
You're obviously the.
Today's topic is...
My wig snatched. We're gonna be talking story time because we ran out of topics. to talk about. And we're
Comment down ideas, please.
we need help
We need help.
mentally.
We are in serious need of content.
Emotionally. So who's gonna start with
Burnt
the story?
chicken nugget.
Yeah.
So there's this boy. He like, you know those little Dora hair short boys? He was one of
The bowl cut.
You mean a...
yeah, he was one of those
bowl
boys.
cut.
Like it was a...
And in pre-K, the teacher would separate us in station. And that day, she let us pick our own. And there was this kitchen. All the girls would go to the kitchen. There was like a little kitchen, and there was always baby dolls. You know, I was gonna go to the kitchen, but there was already 5 girls there, and I couldn't go there. So the teacher put me with this boy in the dinosaur station.
Oh, the dinosaurs.
We were just building houses, right? And we were playing dinosaurs together. I raised my dinosaur like up above my head, and he thought I was gonna hit him, so he told on me. And I got in trouble by my mom. And then in kindergarten, I almost hit him.
Yo.
In
I think we're gonna.
recess.
You're gonna continue.
Because she took my pencil.
Yo, I was so pissed when someone did that to me.
She took my pencil during recess because I was in trouble for not doing my homework. And like whenever you were in trouble, they'll make you sit on the side of the wall. And she came to bother me, and she took my pencil and she started running around the playground, and I was chasing her. The teacher thought I was playing around. She was like, "Oh, well, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're on like timeout or whatever." And I almost hit her, and she told me because she got scared. I was like that, and she got scared. So she told on me, and I got in trouble. First grade is when I started getting serious.
Oh no.
We were in.
She a baddie.
She was up a little girl that
Burnt chicken nugget is a
okay,
bad
this
child.
one, I don't know what I was thinking, like at all. For some reason, I was talking. Okay, in kindergarten, I was talking to like these 2 girls, and we were all close, like the 3 of us. And then in first grade, we stopped talking. And one of them had different classes, and the 2 of us stayed together. And we were at lunch. And she was giving me weird looks, and me and the other girl were talking. She was giving me weird looks. I was like, oh yeah, that girl wants to kill me.
That's a little bit on the far side.
I
I
mean,
don't know why I said that. And then the girl that I told was supposed to be my friend. She went to go tell the teacher, and I got in trouble. And I went to the principal's office. A lot of stuff happened at home.
You got a beat
Second
down.
grade and third grade, it was the same thing. I wasn't doing my homework for like at all, and that's when I got like my second last spanking in third grade.
Like we should
second
cut
last
off-
spanking.
Let me.
Second last. Second last.
Second to last.
What about the last one?
Oh
How
no.
about we stop before she starts revealing her background about how she's like a serious criminal
She stole a Snickers bar from the corner store.
and she got mad.
That chancla went flying.
And then, oh yeah, in fourth grade, I called this boy monkey ears because his ears were like that, and I called them monkey ears. And the girl who was sitting next to me, she went to go tell, and I got in trouble. And then in fifth grade, I wrote bad words in a notebook, and I got in trouble for it because she
Yeah.
recognized my handwriting.
Yeah.
You just be, oh, but she knew my handwriting. I was like her favorite student or whatever. She was like, Diana, I did not expect this from you. And I was like so close not going to the San Antonio trip no more because
Scrap the whole episode.
Is that really quiet?
She said Danes. Danes is her name. Danes is her name.
oh, but my last spanking was because I also didn't do my homework.
Okay.
I have a
so-
story about how I used to manipulate the teachers into thinking I was a good kid when I really wasn't.
Let's be
No,
real.
okay. So for real, I would be in class not doing my work at all, and then the kid in front of me who was always doing his work, but I would go like, nobody in this school knows him, nobody who's listening to this knows him unless this child is listening to this person. His name was Nicholas, and he sat in front of me. He sat in front of me, always did his work, and was coloring on his paper, and I took his work while he wasn't looking and put it in my paper and changed the name and said, this is my work in pre-K. And
How did you?
everybody is...
Bro, you just hit that gas Bro, if you don't get your earthquake on,
I didn't mean for it to come out like that. It's because I noticed how once I
it sounded like a bass drum, my guy. You went,
That went loud.
I'm s-
Okay. And then
I don't know.
there was one time I was supposed to get a ride up on the bus because I was sleeping. Apparently, you're not supposed to sleep on the bus in the way I was sleeping. So my
You are
The legs
upside
are
down.
sticking out.
no, I wasn't sleeping. So apparently we had a really mean bus driver in 3rd grade, and I don't know her name. I would expose her, but I don't know her name. But I was laying like this, and my head was just poking out a little, right? And she was like, "You deserve a demerit." I mean, not a demerit. That's not what we used. That was a write-up.
Right up.
Yeah, a whole write-up. And I could have been suspended off the bus if I got another one. No, I only got that one. But she wanted to suspend me off the bus, even though I painted my nails on the bus too. That was a fun. And
She a baddie.
yeah. And I would cry to the teachers, be like, "No, I didn't do that." And the teachers will always believe me. And up to about 7th grade, I stopped doing that.
I stopped crying and going to teachers, or stopped lying?
Crying into teachers.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna talk about how I was told that I was gonna go to hell for not sharing.
sis.
For not,
Same.
can you let? Okay, so I was in pre-K, and obviously the Legos were the best part of everything, and we can all agree on that. The
Wait,
Legos.
don't you mean the Mega Blocks?
Oh yeah, my bad. Legos were too small for our child dismount. Anyways, I was playing with the Mega Blocks, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And I kid you not, this girl came up to me and she was like, "Can I use some of the Legos?" And my selfish self just said, "No."
No.
And she literally told me off. She was like, "You're gonna go to hell for not sharing the Legos." And she literally told me that, then walked away. So I had to sit there as a child, just told me, "I'm gonna go to hell for not sharing the Mega Blocks. I'm gonna see Satan for some Meta Blocks." Okay.
You're like in your well 60s. You pass off in the 80s. And then you see Satan himself, and he's like, "Oh, you remember that one time where you didn't share your Mega Blocks?"
I'm gonna be holding back. That made no. The whole
God's gonna be like, "Remember that one time where you
Yeah.
held those Mega Blocks to yourself and didn't share with that child?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where you're
goodbye.
going down.
He's gonna dunk you.
I'm not done with my pre-K stories. You thought it was over, huh?
No.
Okay. I was in pre-K and it was lunchtime and nobody wanted to eat their food, so I was like, "Alright, cool, I'll eat it." And I started eating their lunch, but I didn't realize how much my little child's stomach could handle. So we were in the middle of class and we were practicing our letters, and I turned my face around.
Wait, did you vomit or what?
It was vomit.
Did you get it on a child?
No, it was like I was just like sitting there writing the letters, right, all perfect and normal, and then I turned my head to the side and it just all comes out. And I said,
Came out the wrong way.
That's not good.
"That's still not good."
I don't think it's supposed to come out anyway. You're supposed
Yeah.
to keep it in.
Yeah, vomit's not supposed to come out at all, no matter what pore it comes out of.
That's why you swallow it back in.
We're gonna change the topic. I'm not done either ways with my incredible
God.
stories about school.
I want you to write a biography.
Okay, everybody in their life has had an emo phase. When was your emo phase?
I haven't had
now.
an emo phase.
Oh.
I really haven't. I've been very serious and quiet and sad.
That's called.
That's called an emo phase.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I haven't been in an emo phase ever. I try to like get away from that.
Y'all ever heard that anime? Oh, not an anime. It's a cartoon.
If it's
kind
Tokyo
of.
Ghoul, I want you to
It's
have.
it's on Netflix. But it's like this girl or something.
Oh.
It's like this animal, right? And then she's like all cool in her workspace.
A Gretzko?
Yeah, let's go. And like she's all cool, and then like she goes home and she like starts rocking or whatever.
Like some karaoke thing?
Yeah.
Actually, metal rock.
It's
Get it?
karaoke
metal rock.
Get it right. If you're gonna reference something, get it.
Okay, so back when I was little, back in pre-K, there was this boy named Brian, and me and him were like really close. We were playing outside one time, and this boy named Harvey, he grabbed a rock and he was trying to throw it at Brian because Brian won in a soccer game, but Harvey ended up hitting me in the head, and my whole like forehead was bleeding, and I was like, I wasn't even scared. I was just getting this weird goosebumps. I wasn't even crying. I was just shocked at the fact that someone threw a rock at me, and I thought he did it intentionally. And then I told people that Harvey was like super mean to girls, and then my dad was talking with him, And then after that, he started to cry. Yeah. And then
Your
another
dad
time,
makes me afraid.
What
Yeah.
grade were
He
you?
scares
I was
me.
in pre-K. I was that kid that was like, if I'm in the like, I don't know, if I'm using some toys, like they're mine. Like you can't touch them. Don't even look at
You're
them.
going
Like
to
they're
hell.
mine.
You're going
Like
to hell
I don't
for
care
that.
if I'm.
That look good.
Yeah, don't even look at them. Like let's say for example, I'm in the like what's it called, that thingy?
You're in the play ball area.
Yeah, if I'm in the swings and you want to turn in them, guess what? There is no turn for you. There's only me. I was that type of kid. So
Such a Taurus.
such a Taurus, yes.
Oh
I'm a
my
Taurus.
god.
So yeah. Oh my God, stop it. Then Brian, we were playing Monopoly one time. This was in 5th grade. He
How do
won, and I just slapped his knee because he won and I wanted to win.
Can we talk about how a 5th grader knows how to play a full game of Monopoly? Because
That is
Yes.
too difficult for
No,
a little
no,
child to
what?
comprehend.
I just started to
That
learn
is
how to
not
play.
true. Oh my
I
God.
don't know how to
We played that. I was playing that game since I was in like what, 1st grade? That's
You're
when
an
I learned how to
intellectual.
play it.
I didn't know until last year.
Oh my God, y'all are like
I
very
still don't know how.
Yo, time for my story. I ran a gulag in the 1st grade.
What?
To those
Wait, what's that?
You know what a gulag is? It's a thing that when Soviet Russia was a thing, and whenever you had a political indifference towards the leader at the time, you were sent to this place called the gulag, where you would starve and eventually die. And in the first and in the 1st grade, there was this little group in the back of the cafeteria where we wouldn't eat, and I was the leader at that time. Because the old leader ran out on us since he was now a 2nd grader. Since I was the next 1st grader up on the leader thing, I ran this gulag like if it was my own household. And so, whenever kids wanted to get up to get lunch, and they came back, I would steal it from them and eat it right in front
Steal
of them.
food.
Yes,
It's
I'm-
not your
Oh,
food, it's
God,
our
who
food.
would- host this?
it's not their food, it's our food.
Who would host this at an elementary?
A lot of kids.
Why?
I went to a really bad elementary school. We had a fight every day. On a good day, it was like 2 fights. On like a horrible day, people were bleeding and had to be sent to the nurse's office, and then people were expelled.
Oh my god.
We came from bad places.
So
Aldine sucks now.
So y'all didn't run gulags?
Nah, buddy.
My spring branch
I was
school
bullied.
his lunches was very good. Like, oh my God, y'all have never been. That's literally my mom. That's me. That's me. Oh, y'all can't see it, but let me describe to you.
No.
Let us describe to you this face of horror.
The nose is on
that
the forehead and the eyes are where the cheeks are supposed to be. And Kit Kat's head was like an airhead. You know when they blow up? I guess you
Okay,
Stop
we're
playing
getting,
around.
we're getting off topic.
Yo guys, I have a story actually.
Nope, you gotta wait.
Go ahead.
So in Carmichael, which is in my little neighborhood, I used to hang around with the kids, and you know how you would have little wasp paper fights,
What?
the little wasps. On
Oh,
the
yeah.
Sling.
The little...
I always thought the word together.
Wait, is it like you're talking about the little?
Yeah, the little paper things.
You
and,
fold
like,
the paper and then you
yeah.
slingshot a rubber band and then
and it would
just-
hurt.
Yeah,
It
those
would
things hurt.
I always used to think that was too ghetto for me.
Bruh.
Bruh.
We would shoot each other across the class, but let me tell you, one particular incident happened in the gymnasium. It happened in the gymnasium. So look, I'ma call out every single person that I know from that situation, and that only person that I know is me, Andrew, and Harry. He went to my school, yeah. He was a nice kid. I know. So let's see. We were all playing against with the Wasps, and then me and Harry, we started to team up on Andrew. Because it was a boys versus girls thing, and since Andrew was the only girl there,
That sounds so weird.
we were just like, haha. And so we teamed up on her. And we weren't expecting her to have rubber bands on every single little gap in her fingers and have papers
Whoa,
between
that is an
every single
absolute
one of
mad
them. And she would pull them back with their mouth.
Oh
Like
my
at us.
God.
And me and Harry hid behind the backpacks. And when Andrew ran out of little wasps, we would steal them from her, and we would have like this whole pile right behind us. And so eventually, when she ran out, we didn't bother using the little rubber bands anymore. We just grabbed piles of them and just threw it at her, and it was
epic.
We had to clean up after that.
Y'all did.
She sounds like she was prepared for that one.
No, she wasn't. She ended up ripping up a bunch of her math papers just to fight us. That's what I call dedication.
Oh, this one time I was in kindergarten.
Are you sure you were in kindergarten?
I think. I don't know. My memory is really
Are
bad.
you sure?
But
You're a Taurus. How dare you?
it's what a Taurus does.
No, it's not what a Taurus does.
You're incorrect on your own zodiac sign.
Anyway, so I had one of those like big mistake erasers, like those giant
Oh god,
erasers.
that's the whole
And like
sentence.
I would always show it off to my class, right? 'Cause, like I was that type of kid. So then this one time I put it on my desk and we went to recess and I came back and it was missing. And I was like, Miss, my eraser went missing, whatever. And so she made the whole class look for it. And then I found it under this girl's desk and it was like all torn up to pieces and I was about to fight her. I was sad. I was so sad. And I still think about that. And
Speaking of big mistake erasers, has anybody ever tried to use a whole eraser and then ended up ripping their paper?
Dude,
No.
I ended up ripping the eraser.
I ripped up my STAR test. I ripped my STAR test, and I was sad. It wasn't the STAR. It was the Scantron. I ripped up the Scantron.
I see. You missed the point
The
because of that.
Scantron.
Yeah, I ripped the Scantron.
Did they still grade it?
Yes, I passed somehow.
Speaking of stolen utensils, I remember back in 3rd grade, I had this box of pencils, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm so cool. I got these pencils.
64 pack of crayons.
And one of them had a black eraser, and that was my favorite one. I put it, you know how everybody had like that little box of pencils? Yeah, I had that. And then I remember that I was playing around because obviously back in my school, the guys would go to the kitchen because they were like, all right, cool, let's just go here. There's so much space. And I was over there and I was just sitting down because some girls were playing some kitchen or something like that, whatever that was called. And then after it was time to like clean up and everything like that, I went back to my box of pencils and I saw how my black eraser pencil was gone. I went up to the teacher and I was like, someone stole my pencil, miss. I did not find that pencil.
Were you crying?
No, I was mad.
Like
My-
a kid out there.
You sound like if you want to cry.
No, I was pissed off. And then, give me a second. I have another story. Okay, so I remember that I had to take care of this kid because he had asthma, and the teacher, don't you no? Okay. Shh, I'm not done. And well, I had to take him to the nurse's office because obviously, what if he passes out and no one sees him? He's gonna lay down. So yes, lay down.
He's just gonna rest.
Yeah, and so what happened was that the teacher that usually tells me to go with him wasn't there, and it was a substitute. Yeah, the substitute.
I remember that.
And you can tell how mad I was about it too. And so he went up to me and he was like, "Hey, it's time for me to go to the nurse." And I was like, "Alright, cool." And so he asked for the pass, and then I was like, "Hey, I kind of need to go with him, so can you write me a pass as well?" The substitute teacher looked at me and she said, "I don't think it takes 2 people just to go to the nurse's office." So obviously, as a child I was like, "All right, cool, I guess fine." But now that I'm thinking about it, that poor kid could have died that day and nobody would have noticed.
Did you see him the next day?
Yeah, but
Okay.
like, I was just thinking of the possibilities that could have happened.
You're telling me you thought about in class, probably math or
It was
just-
reading.
You were in reading class, reading like some Clifford book, and then like the image of this kid passing out in the middle of
Yes,
the
because
hallway.
like I really I have this certain thing where like if I do like something for you multiple times, I get used to it and I start caring about you, and I hate it, but still I start caring about you, and then if something were to suddenly happen, like something I'm not used to, I'm like, what if they die? And then that's when I start panicking. All of this started happening at 2nd grade. Yes, remember second or third. I think it was 3rd, but like I already started thinking about I had an existential crisis because of this kid.
That's so Raven. You ever seen That's So Raven? Yeah.
Yeah, do life would be a dream.
You gaze into that kid's death. That's
Oh, I want to say one of
Wait, let me. No.
Okay.
No.
I
Okay.
go next though.
Back in just like he was talking about the kitchen thing. we had one of those, right?
Everyone had a
And-
kitchen.
Yeah, I just realized that. The kitchen was like big. Like, I mean, it took half of the class.
Yeah.
And it had like clothes and it had like everything.
Yeah.
Like, it had like, you know, costumes. So there was this one jacket that was this pilot jacket. And I like wearing that. And then one time I remember that I used the sink as as the front of my airplane, and we were acting like we were crashing. We all just fell down in the kitchen. We acted like we were dead. Yeah.
My school was always too poor to have a kitchen, so we didn't have a lot of playtimes. Everything was just learning. Aldine sucks. And then
I had
Aldine,
Aldine.
no, you see, but like Aldine I'm in is magnet district, so everything's like fine arts, fine arts, fine arts.
Oh, that sucks to be you then.
Same, but like I took classes, English teaching. They taught me English all to like 3rd grade, so I didn't get much stuff.
We had that French, and the only thing that I remember from French is that me and my friends would make fun how double yes means oui oui.
I still think about that.
That's all I remember. Double yes means oui oui, and that's it.
Anyway, so like this thing happened last year because that's when I started my little phase. I think. I don't
She
know.
was already an
I
emo.
wasn't. I was little.
She was thinking about losing her Crayola pack.
So like I attended art, and every time I went to art class, the like teacher would always have like some really cool color pencils or like art supplies, like brushes and stuff, and I would always just steal them. And I did that all last year, and then it was like the end of the year already, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna dye my hair purple. I was like, I'm gonna dye my hair purple because like the end of the year, you know, like no one will care, and like my school, Hoffman, strict.
Oh,
You were on the Hoffman?
I went blonde,
What-
like
what's-
completely. I was like yellow, like
what
I
lunch?
went like gold, kind of. And then it was like the last 3 days of school, and I didn't know. Nobody told me we were gonna take a school picture, and I was the only blonde one there, so I stood out.
You were a beacon.
So if you go back to that school, you can see I'm the only blonde one there. Like I just yellow.
Our school, our kids were too not intelligent to form the 22. So
Oh yeah, we just gathered around in a giant pile because we were all too stupid to actually form a.
we didn't see the 2, so we just ignored it.
Yeah.
Another thing, I was in 3rd grade, and I remember this teacher. He was like really cool, cause like he used to bring his guitar to class, and I was like, yeah. He used to sing. He used to sing to the kids, and I found that really interesting. But like once I got to 4th grade, my mom was like, I'm moving, and I'm like, just wait, no. And I never got to go to his class, and I was so mad at myself because I was like, I could have been to that dude's class. So I'm pretty sure it was country music, but I'm not saying anything. That's just.
You shared it into the mic. Of course you said something, Alec.
Country music is the best music.
Country road.
Take me home. Oh wait, we can be copyrighted.
Oh yeah. And then after the blonde, the next day I went purple, and then I got chased down by the principal all until it was like, okay, so like I went through the metal detectors at school, and then the principal saw me. She was like, meet me at my office. And of course I was like, nah, I'm a baddie. I don't go to office. So I didn't go to our office. I went to first period, and I went like that with purple hair. And then she caught me again in the hallway, and then I was chased down. I got sent home, and I never went back.
Emo.
How do you know if a vampire is sick?
How?
Oh my god!
Dude, I'm so dumb. I can't figure this out.
How do we know the answer?
By how much he's coughing.
Funny!
Funny joke.
Oh, creative thinking.
What do you call a fish with no eyes? Okay,
I couldn't.
For sure.
Laughs in Spanish.
judges you in Spanish.
Sneezes and
I have another one. I couldn't work out how to fasten my seatbelt, but then
Why?
it clicked.
Oh.
Oh!
Yo. My dad didn't care about the seatbelt. He would just let me die.
I never
Ay,
used
¿qué
to
te
like.
pasa?
I never liked the seatbelts. I
Hijo,
always,
¿qué te pasó? And I'm on
Todos
the
se
ground.
pueden ir, pero Karen se queda.
Oh my god, I cried.
Karen se llevó los niños.
Hey, stop. It's time for us to go.
Bye.
Karen se llevó los niños.
Karen se llevó los niños.
Karen se llevó los niños.
Got him.
Got him.
She told me.
Got
Oh, wait, no,
it.
wait, no.
We gotta
Okay.
say bye. We gotta
Bye.
Got him, take a hold of